you realize during the deposition that the defense attorneys cross-examined Mr. Mouton on a number of his aliases, correct?
Correct.
So, all right. Do you also go by the name Anton Vernon Cottrell? Yes. Antron Cottrell? Yes. Anton Cottrell? Yes. Anton Vernon the First, or Vernon? Yes. And did you go by the name Eric Darnell Austin? Yes. You didn't even, in your records, you don't even have that alias, do you?
In the rap sheets,
Yes.
I have those aliases and about 30 more.
Okay. When you read this, did it give you some sort of indication that the defense attorneys might have had some cross-examined material for Mr. Cottrell?
No, it gave me the impression that as a prosecutor, knowing what I know, that his name is Antoine Cantrell, the record should have been corrected to make sure that the jury knew and everyone knew his name is actually Antoine Cantrell. So I didn't take it that way.
Did you get on the internet and just look up the court minutes in this case?
I tried. I couldn't log in for some reason. I tried to download the records and it wouldn't allow me.
If the minutes reflect 2 weeks prior to his deposition, both the Nevada scope and the NCIC were provided to the defense attorneys in this particular case, don't you think as a prosecutor doing your due diligence, you'd have figured that out?
Objection, argumentative,
Yeah,
Your Honor.
let's just calm down.
I couldn't get access to it, sir.
Let's just treat each other with respect. You couldn't get access to our
I tried. I called. I tried to log.
Odyssey?
I tried.
Okay.
They said I had to create an account. I tried that. They sent me an email saying I couldn't do it. I tried.
Okay.
I tried.
You couldn't have asked Mr. DeMarco to give you the court minutes in the case?
I probably could have.
So if a defense attorney had the NCIC, right, they would have been able to see that he had been arrested in Fulton County, correct?
I don't know what they'd be able to see.
Well, you've seen the NCIC, you didn't bring it here, you gave it to Mr. DeMarco.
Well, Your Honor, can Mr. DiGiacomo produce the record he's referring to? Because I haven't seen it.
Well, I mean, the witness testified you have it.
Yeah, he testifies you have the NCIC. Or do you not have the NCIC?
I don't.
I didn't say he had
I'm
the
not being
NCIC.
questioned here, but I
But
can
I
tell you.
thought that's what he testified to, so if
Your
I'm
Honor,
wrong,
sorry,
I
he-
apologize.
He mentioned that there was an NCIC disclosed before the deposition. So that's what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, can you just take judicial notice of the court minutes in this particular case from April 14th of 2007,
Well,
where the court ordered the scope, the NCIC, and the GPA associated with Mr. Mouton be turned over to the defense in this particular case?
Sure, absolutely. I just don't know if the witness can testify as to what it said.
yeah, can I see that? And we don't have
see
the
that?
actual record, the minutes he's trying to have submitted.
This is your case, this is the record in this
Well,
case.
I know, but I would still like to see what you're submitting to the court. Thank you. It says it was ordered, but it doesn't say it was provided, so I don't know whether or not it was provided and what was on there, so.
Okay. That's fair. You may proceed.
Thank you.
Now, if my memory is functioning and I am correct in what my assessment is of this video, I believe this is when I tell the lawyer to go look and see what this motherfucker is giving him. And then he tried to slide that in as part of the record and come to find out now you can't do it. Because he just lied that fast. He was trying to slide some shit in and get that in and get away with it. And if I wouldn't have been on the fact that I know that this bitch is full of shenanigans, that this is what he do. He's full of trickery. This bitch is diabolical. When I say that, I'm not saying it as a punchline. I swear to God that white boy is a cold motherfucking bigot. That bitch ain't no good. Did you see what he did? And then he had to take it back with him. He couldn't put it in, make it part of the record. He did that earlier with a video. He did the same shit with the video. Gangster Chronicle, he got a picture of me with the Gangster No, that's later on. That's later on. But what I'm trying to tell you, the bitch would have put his wallet up there for evidence if you ain't paying attention to it because he crafty like that. He full of witchcraft. That bitch ain't no good. This is what I'm telling y'all. You got to pay attention to this shit. Everybody need to alert anybody with an ear that can hear. You need to let them know about this shit down here.
This transcript when the witness is called, the deposition, you don't see anywhere in here where the defense attorneys are saying they don't have the NCIC in the scope, do you?
I'd have to look at it again.
Go ahead.
I don't remember them saying that, so yeah, I'll go with that.
And the fact that they're cross-examining on those aliases, you haven't seen any other records that would have those aliases other than his rap sheet, have you?
Post 2006 stuff, post 2007 stuff, post 2008 stuff. I saw something on the sex offender website where he had various aliases listed, but that was in 2021.
So nothing prior to his testimony in this case where you saw his aliases other than his rap sheet and then you going out and getting the underlying documents.
I don't understand the question, Counsel.
Did you see anything other than his rap sheet and then you going to get his records that showed what his aliases were in 2006?
Yeah, his booking photos, his rap sheets.
The rap sheets is what allowed you to go to the booking photos, correct?
No. We got the rap sheets after the booking photos. So Mr. DeMarco has the stuff. So September 4th, which was a Friday, after realizing that he had used two different names while testifying, he spelled his own name differently each time, I figured something was awry. Sent my investigator to get his booking photos from the San Francisco Police Department. Upon receiving his booking photos, realized that he had used various different aliases and that his real name was Antoine Cantrell. That was on September 4th, which was a Friday. September 6th, which was that next Monday was a holiday. Realizing that he had used a fake name, on the Tuesday, I instructed my investigator to run his rap sheets to see what his name was.
And in those rap sheets, you saw evidences of those aliases,
About 40 aliases.
right? They're all listed there, right there on the NCIC, correct?
Right, and his name is listed as Antoine Cantrell.
Did you do anything to determine whether or not the defense attorney had the information before you turned it over to Mr. DeMarco?
Sure, so I looked at the trial transcript and there was no questioning about aliases, there was no questioning about informant status, there was no questioning about him being in jail December 5th in Atlanta. So, yeah, I read the transcript and realized that any competent defense attorney with this information would cross-examine on it. And seeing the lack...
Did you call the defense attorneys and ask them?
No.
Did you, well, you do see it's the same defense attorney asking questions at the deposition that's asking questions at the trial, correct?
Correct.
And you saw that he asked questions about the aliases at the deposition, but didn't ask at the trial.
Right, and so at the deposition, he asked questions about...
My question to you is,
I'm sorry.
you took that information and made an assumption that they didn't have rap sheets.
No, I took that information and realizing that there was no cross-examination about him using various aliases while testifying. And from that point, I turned over the rap sheets, which show his name is Antoine Cantrell.
Would you agree with me, you made an assumption that you were not in possession of the rap sheets, the federal rap sheets and their state criminal history? Did you make that assumption before you turned over the records?
No, being that this was Brady, my obligation was to turn it over to the defense, so I didn't make any assumptions.
Okay, you keep saying that, so let's go there.
Sure.
You worked for the San Francisco County District Attorney, correct?
I did, yes.
The San Francisco County District Attorney has a jurisdiction, basically San Francisco City, correct?
Correct.
Fairfield, California is in Solano County, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And Richmond, where the car was burned, that's in Contra Costa County, correct?
Correct.
So you had no jurisdiction over the crimes that were alleged against Mr. Dow, correct?
To prosecute or to provide Brady?
Well, let's start first with, did you have any jurisdiction to prosecute?
No.
So it's your position that you had a right, because you had access to databases, to go do research on a case that is completely unrelated to your job.
Yeah, objection, Your Honor, compound, facts not in evidence, irrelevant.
Overruled, you can answer.
I don't agree that it's unrelated to my job.
You believe that as a personal friend of Mr. Dow, you have the right to access law enforcement databases that have privacy concerns.
Objection, Your Honor, misstates prior
The
testimony.
form of the question, why don't you rephrase the question?
Do you believe you have the right to access those databases despite privacy concerns?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you know what California Penal Code sections 11140 through 11143 is?
Yeah, those say if you access this sort of material for an impermissible purpose, then you could be in trouble. But given that this was Brady, I can't see a more permissible purpose.
Penal Code section 13102. Do you know what that is?
What does it
Objection,
say?
Your Honor, this is calling for legal conclusions irrelevant to what we're here for. We're here for Brady, a Brady claim and post-conviction.
I understand what we're here for, and I understand what the witness has testified to. He's indicated, in my belief, that he has jurisdiction over Brady material anywhere. It doesn't have to be in San Francisco. So, Mr. DiGiacomo, you may proceed.
Thank you. Do you know what California Penal Code section 13102 is?
Can you refresh me as to what it says?
It says, as state criminal history information under Penal Code also 11105.
Okay.
All right? And local criminal history information under Penal Code section 13300. You ever heard of those?
Yes.
Okay. And according to Ms. Darby, would you agree with this statement? The disclosure would violate the penal code and infringe the privacy rights of record subjects.
So,
I disagree.
So, I just would object, Your Honor, to what Mr. DiGiacomo says according to Ms. Darby.
I'm assuming you read from her statement?
I did.
Well, it's,
Okay.
again, it's not signed under, the line where it should be signed under oath is blank, and there's an alleged, looks
Okay, I
like an
thought we
electronic.
resolved the signing, that she signed her name on the last page.
Well, it looks like an electronic signature. I'm just submitting, Your Honor. I think
Okay.
it's not reliable to be represented as something from that person, but it's not signed under oath.
Thank you.
Would you agree with the statement that the disclosure of the information sought violates the right to privacy of individual defendants, witnesses, and confidential informants under Article 1, Section 1 of the California Constitution?
Disagree. In this situation, I disagree.
It is your belief that you have the right to investigate anything in the United States that potentially someone claims they've had something done wrong to them by the criminal justice system.
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
Overruled, you can answer.
I don't know how to answer that question, Counselor, because as a prosecutor, at least in California, Rule 3.8 doesn't limit my ability as a prosecutor to just California. So, for example, in Rule 3.8 of California Professional Rule of Responsibility.
So your answer is yes. You don't have to go through all of this.
Yeah, we
Your
can say
answer is
yes. Yeah, say yes.
Right?
Say yes.
Okay, so let me ask you, how many other out-of-state convictions?
Now, do y'all hear this diabolical cracker? There you go again. The fact of the matter is, no matter what he say, how he trying to cross-examine Latif and say that he gave the NCIS, you didn't do none of that. And you know you didn't do none of that. Now you putting Tony Scroll office in a situation of being sued, brought down, burned up, blew up. Because if you said that you gave them that, which I know you didn't, they are in violation of Brady. You didn't just put the blame on them. Because they can't have that kind of material and don't bring it forth. You didn't give them none of that. And regardless of any of that, and I'll tell you why I say regardless of any of that. Bitch, you told that man December the 5th, 2005. He was incarcerated from November the 28th, 2005 until December the 7th, 2005. There is no way in the world that you can possibly clean that one up. I don't give a fuck how you twist these questions and ask him a bunch of questions. Doesn't matter. You solicited a December the 5th date from Antoine Cantrell. You allowed Antoine Cantrell to raise his hand and testify to Antoine Mouton. You knew all along that he was a fraud upon the court. Now, y'all hear this judge. This is what I'm telling you about this lady. She is so dishonorable. I mean, because if we really being honest, what are we here for? We're here because we are seeking the truth. Period. We want the truth. So for her to allow this man to try to talk his way around everything but the truth, the facts. The fact of the matter is, you solicited a December the 5th date. You knew that motherfucker was in jail. And you didn't think that I would ever find out. So now you're trying to make it seem like Lateef done something wrong by giving me the Brady material that you should have gave me. Bigot!